Hi there! Are you wanting to make the most out of your retirement savings? Well, by the end of this video, I'll make sure you know exactly how to do just that before you go signing on any dotted line. My name is Michael Malone, and for up-to-date advice and information on annuities, do be sure to subscribe to my channel here, and then also be sure to click on that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload other new videos as well. Now, when it comes to making the most out of your retirement savings, really the first thing that I would recommend you do is take a look at what we like to call your basic living expenses. Really what you want to do first and foremost is kind of address those basic living expenses before you get into your goals and wishes and dreams and all that. So you want to kind of take a look initially at your basic living expenses. And what we consider to be your basic living expenses are going to be things like if you still have your mortgage that you're going to be paying in retirement, groceries, utilities, gas, things like that. Things that are really your basic living expenses as you're going to be moving through your retirement years. Now, second, along with that, once you kind of have a good picture of what those basic living expenses are, you're going to want to really look at the initial sources of income that you feel really comfortable about to help you start addressing and covering those expenses as you move through your retirement. So a couple of those sources, as an example, may be your Social Security income that you're planning on. So if you're qualified for Social Security income, and you can reach out and kind of research and pull those numbers in for yourself, look and see what that looks like in comparison to the basic living expenses you're trying to cover. And then also, you know, if you're lucky enough to be one of those folks out there that does have a pension from the corporation that you've worked for in years past or that you're working for now, pull that pension information in as well. Those are, you know, kind of a couple examples of sources of income that I think you can feel a little bit more secure about in starting to address those basic living expenses. And you know, by the way, if you'd like to have some professional guidance from myself, as you know, as far as going through and kind of looking at your basic living expenses, looking at these income sources, if you'd like to have some professional guidance on that, do feel free to click on the link down below to apply to become my client. And then I would also recommend that when you're done watching this video, watch the other video that I've created called Retirement and Income Planning. Now, the reason why I would suggest watching that video, Retirement and Income Planning, is you're going to get a little bit better feel, a little bit more in-depth feel as you kind of start building all of this out. And I'll include the link for that video in my description down below for you. Now, another potential source as you really look at putting your retirement savings to the best use for you as you get ready or go into retirement, another potential source, we've talked about Social Security, we've talked about maybe a pension. Another possible source that you can put in place that you can feel comfortable with in helping you address these basic living expenses, that's really what we're focused on here, is an annuity. Now, one of the reasons why you can look at an annuity as another potential source, something you can feel comfortable with in helping you to address your truly basic living expenses, is that most annuities, when you look out there, will offer you a benefit called guaranteed retirement income. So similar to Social Security that you're counting on, similar to maybe the pension that you're counting on, an annuity may have the ability to create for you a similar source of income. And the way that this guaranteed retirement income works, I'll just give you a quick example here. Let's say you're going to plan to retire at the age of 60. Really, the earliest you'd want to do it with an annuity is 59 and a half years old. So let's just use 60. Let's say you're getting ready to retire at age 60. You retire at 60 and you turn on that guaranteed retirement income from that annuity. So now you know from that annuity, which is a contract with an insurance company, so they're contractually obligated to stand behind this guaranteed retirement income, you now know that that guaranteed retirement income is going to last you for the rest of your retirement, through all of your retirement years. So again, similar to the Social Security that you're planning on throughout your entire retirement years, maybe that pension as well, and an income annuity really can give you that same kind of confidence and comfortability in looking at that guaranteed retirement income throughout your retirement years until you pass away as another source of helping you address, say, the basic living expenses that we've been talking about. So that may be another source that you could take a look at as far as putting your retirement savings to the best work for you as you move through retirement. Now, the other thing that I would share with you in regards to that guaranteed retirement income that I think is important as you're building out your entire plan, if you have a spouse, you're going to want to know that that guaranteed retirement income that I was just sharing about, it's very possible with the annuity that you're using, depending on the way the benefit is structured, that guaranteed retirement income could continue on for your spouse for their entire life, even when you're no longer here. So if you were to pass first and you've had that guaranteed retirement income throughout your entire life, throughout your entire retirement, but your spouse is still here, and your spouse is still enjoying their retirement, and maybe they're able to be in that retirement for another 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the case may be, it is very possible that that guaranteed retirement income that came from the annuity that you owned could continue on to your spouse as well, and they could have that helping them address the ongoing basic living expenses for them through the rest of their life as well. So I think that's very important to understand also. The one last thing that I'll share with you in regards to putting your retirement savings to the best use you can. So you've looked at that Social Security, you've looked at that pension maybe, you've maybe put an annuity or 2 or 3 into place for you to really address those basic living expenses. The one last thing you want to create for yourself is something that we like to call your inflation bucket. So your inflation bucket is really there for as things get more expensive. Inflation just means that when we retire at, say, age 60, by the time we're maybe age 80 or 85, things that the loaf of bread that we're used to buying may literally cost twice as much as it did when we initially retired at age 60. So we need to address, we have, say, Social Security, pension, annuity. Those income sources are typically going to be pretty constant throughout your retirement. Those income payments that you receive from those 3 sources are basically not going to change from, say, when you're 60 to when you're later in retirement. So the concern there is that, boy, I'm getting the same income, the same amount from those, say, 3 sources, but things have become more expensive. That loaf of bread is costing me twice as much now in my mid-80s. It'll occur before that, but as far as being twice as much, you're looking about 24 years out. So at any rate, it's important also when you're putting your retirement savings to the best use for you that you can, is to create also an inflation bucket. And typically inside of that inflation bucket, we're not looking at guaranteed retirement income like we did with the annuity. We're looking at probably a portfolio, a somewhat conservative portfolio that has the ability to hopefully grow a little bit over the years. It's going to fluctuate with the market like any other portfolio would. But you want to structure it a little bit more conservatively so you're not taking as big a dips as you might earlier on in your life. But the point is that this inflation bucket may not be needed in the early years of your retirement, but as you get into your later years, 5, 10, 15, 20 years into retirement, and things are starting to get expensive, or more expensive, I should say, even though we still have that Social Security, pension, and maybe annuity income, we're going to need to start pulling something from that inflation bucket to help us address things as they get more expensive. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And as I mentioned before, if you'd like my professional guidance to kind of look through as you're kind of building all this out and looking at these sources and how they fit together, I always share as an example that every retiree out there has their own unique puzzle. And you have your own unique puzzle pieces that kind of go into that overall plan as you build it out. And if you would like some professional guidance from myself as you're building that out, as I mentioned before, do feel free to click on the link down below to apply to become my client. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel here and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and I truly do hope something good happens to you out there today.